Um, Welcome, family. Welcome, family. Welcome, family. This is BMore's Real Team Talk Show. BMore's Real Team Talk Show. Welcome, family, to BMore's Real Team Talk Show. Hosted by Mr. Steve Copeland. BMore's Real Team Talk Show. Want to look at my time frame, family. I wanted to get to my time frame, family. Uh, Now, my heart goes out. Once again, I'm finding out some stuff. And this is really, really close. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in Baltimore City, family, and surrounding counties. Now, I'm just finding this out. On July the 7th, Gigi, a 15-year-old, and her 9-year-old brother was found unalive by Pew Pew. And it's in the county. It happened in the county. So a lot of stuff that happens in the counties, it don't include like the homicide and stuff in the inner city. Because of that, by them being in the county, is handled by that district. I didn't understand that until some years ago when I started a new BMore City for the 343 unlives that we had in 2017. That was 343 in the inner city. So the ones that lived in the city, but they was unalive in the county districts, wasn't included in the count for Baltimore City as a whole, even though they lived in Baltimore City. So at that time, I didn't understand that. But the more I got into it, I understand that those who was born and raised in the inner city, and if they became unalive in the rural areas or the counties, they're not included in the city unalive rate within itself. And some parents got offended about that because they didn't recognize to them their children. So that's when I started, family, a new Be More City. A new Be More City. Rebuilding our communities. I was reading up some stuff about politics, right? What I had to learn to do, family, is respect those that's in the positions that they are in. But I want to make things clear to a lot of y'all. Politicians are just what they are. They create laws, they create policies, they create, the legislations and all of that, right? But they don't create solutions to whatever laws they create. That's why, as a human rights advocate, as a community organizer, as a homeless advocate, as a community outreach coordinator. Now, everything I'm saying falls under Strengthen the Community, LLC. Everything that I just said comes under Strengthen the Community LLC, because it's about creating solutions. And if you're not a part of that, you're a part of the problem. I want it to be very, 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 very clear. You know why? Brandon Scott, I respect you, nephew. Westmore, I respect you. Our House of Delegates, I respect y'all. Our council members, I respect y'all. Because what I'm beginning to understand more and more and more and more and more and more and more, that y'all jobs are just to create policies, legislations, and rules. And produce funding. That's all y'all do. That's all y'all do. Let me say this. And this is the BMore's Real Team Talk Show. I became a Republican, right? I voted Democratic for 40 years. When I found out they was running the city in the hole, I got disappointed and backed up. I met some Republicans. And yes, Christopher Anderson, I'm going to say your name, asked me to come and help the 9 Republicans that was running, first time in history, for seats in Baltimore City. The reason why Chris asked me to come and work with them, because he know Big Mouth Ballhead Steve was serious about the people. So I became a Republican because this is what they said. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to make it real, real simple. Make America great again. The goal for the Republican Party is for us to become more independent for ourselves. Understand your political party's mission. To create, I'm going to say, solutions to help those that's less fortunate to regain a life worth living. Strengthen the community. So when Christopher asked me to come, I said, okay. Now, mind you, I knew that the Republican Party wasn't going to win. No seats. It's a Democratic city. But what I told Chris, I said, I'll come so I can help y'all, give them a run for their money. Listen to what I'm saying out my mouth. Because our politicians, lawmakers, because of me being a member of Communities United, fighting for the Black people democracy, you start creating solutions to help the people live accordingly. They can't do that part. So I became a Republican, and my thing was, come on, because I'm in the community. I know organizations in the community that's doing great work. So the goal was to introduce the Republican Party to the programs that's in the inner city and the businesses that's actually creating the solutions. Where they at? Where they at? They out there partying, making false promises, both parties. But see, guess what? That's politics. So I sent something to AI. The goal is to lie, manipulate the people. They didn't want to respond back like that. So they responded back with putting on a good act. When you got one individual, and I'm going to say like James Torrance, I'm going to use James Torrance. I'm going to use Antonio Hayes, Senator Antonio Hayes, representing the 7th district, right? In the Senate. He's one person, but he's representing the people. When he go in, he's going to do his best to represent the people. But y'all got to understand how many members of the Senate, how many of them, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, might believe in the same policies. So if that one individual work on policies with others to prosper people's life, they got to come together like that, because you're going to get some that don't agree with certain things, whether they're Democrats or whether they're Republicans. The whole thing with everything about the politics family is for people to learn to become more independent, where you don't have to really rely on state and government funding. So if you put stuff into place for them in a certain way, you telling them what they need to do to correct their lives, but you're not actually showing them as far as creating programs and opportunities for them to come out of the lifestyle that they're living. I started seeing that as a person. No. Strengthen the community is my business, LLC. It's personal for me. Strengthen the community is my LLC. So anything revolving around rebuilding, restructuring the lives of individuals and families, that's what Strengthen the Community is all about. Strengthen the community is about solutions to whatever our economical, however you want to pronounce it, issues are. Right now, we know that there's not a lot of recreation centers, recreations or multi-purpose centers for our inner city youth to embrace their talents, music, art, theater, educationally as well. Because you got some that need tutors, mentors, big brothers, big sisters. These are the stuff. These are the things that I discuss with people. But not only that, it's people that created programs, ways and means, to improve our children's lives. I ain't even talking about the adults yet. BMore's Real Team Talk Show host and creator, Steve Copeland Sr. Keep in mind, family, I'm not at the point in my business, in my housing program, where I am financially prospering. And the reason why I'm saying that, because it's personal for me. But yes, like anybody else, the goal is to profit. With the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope, I don't get government funding. That's why I do independent housing. It's a temporary, it's like a transitional housing program. It's a temporary housing part to prepare you to get into your permanent place. People have to be taught how to restructure their lives. The life that I lived before I came, got clean, was a very, 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 very unhealthy, destructive way of living. And I worked regular jobs, but I tried to do the unhealthy stuff too. It didn't work. So the same attitude and mentality, hustling wise, the same attitude and mentality, hustling wise, I begin to understand the practices in the business. Do y'all understand what I just said? Yeah. So having the working knowledge now of the 12 steps is what I use to help people spiritually go inside and improve them lives. Even our younger generation. Spiritually. Now, if you are a religious-oriented person, being an ordained deacon, I can meet you there as well. Biblically. But see, when it comes to biblical, I come with the solutions. I don't stay in the problem. We all know the lives that they live, how God used them, how some prospered and some did not. But the point is, they kept moving forward in their calling. You didn't miss it, did you? So no matter how I may feel, no matter how I might not want to come on here, no matter how I might not want to run off in my mouth, no matter how I might not want to motivate and encourage others, the Holy Spirit shows something different in me. I called you to minister, to talk, to preach, basically to teach. Not only that, you already know what's going on, Mr. Copeland, in the community. You lived in that. You lived in it. You was able to grow through my help by way of the Holy Spirit to come up out of it and prosper. So now I need you, Mr. Copeland, because I put everything in you that I called you to go back and do, to build up in the inner city marginalized communities, to help my people that's lost, to become found. And I ain't no joke. I ain't no joke. So I pray, I'm like, God, what do you want me to talk about today? What do you want me to say today? The only thing I can give y'all, right, is from personal experience on how the Holy Spirit worked with me and improving. If my life improved, the goal is to help you understand the steps that it will take to improve your life. But you have to do the work. Strengthen the community, LLC, the Latanya D. Copeland. We provide with professional services. When you become a client, my goal is to point you towards the professionals, the licensed, the counselors, the therapists, the financial people that will help you with your finances, your credit score, all of that great stuff. This is what the Latanya D. Copeland House is all about. Strengthen the community. The BMore's Real Talk Show, giving our youth a voice, a place where they can talk about themselves. They can talk about themselves, family. Same way with what you've been passed down generation after generation after generation after generation, way before all of this. Grape ain't just happened. Being fondled on, they ain't just start happening. Being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually abused, physically, that ain't just happened. That ain't just happened in modern day time. A lot of this took place even before the world. And let me say, when God created Adam and Eve. The world was already in existence way before Adam and Eve came here. Okay? The same way when we look at Homo sapiens, they believe that Adam was arrived, or it was part of the Homo sapien genes that Adam was formed. And see, we understand that from what Bible says, he was formed from the dirt, and God breathed into his what? Nostril. He became alive. He became alive, breathing, human being. Ain't that what scripture said? To help us understand certain things in this era. Now, did Adam really exist? For a lot of us that wasn't there during that time, do we really know it's true? Either you're going to believe it and some people don't believe it. Right? And I don't argue with that because I understand some believe, some don't. But my goal as a man of God, as a lover of Christ and a follower of Christ, I'm talking about my attitude. I'm talking about my personality. I'm talking about my character as a human being. You don't know who you are? I'm a warm, sensitive, compassionate man. When I say I emulate Christ's humility, because I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate person, emulating him character-wise. If I say I'm a homeless advocate, what did Christ came here to do? Go back into the community, right? I'm wrong. Didn't he come and went to the disciples, said, come, follow me. They was fishermen, real good at fishing. Real good at fishing. I'm going to make you fishers of men, Steve Copeland. Not just men, Steve Copeland. Women, children as well. Steve Copeland. I ain't understand all of this, family. You got so many of us, and it's nothing wrong with it because it's beautiful to have that type of memory, right? You have so many of us that memorize and know everybody else's story in the Bible, but don't know your own. You can find every scripture in the world to criticize people's life rather than using scripture in the Bible to inspire, to encourage, to motivate, to empower. I already know what it is to live a corrupt, no good, dirty, fashionable lifestyle. When we read about a lot of their stories in the Bible, the mistakes that they was making, even though God chose them, but we won't look at the turning point of how they turned their lives around and became productive members in the society in which they was living in. Did I mess y'all up saying that one? Huh? Come on. I came up with this great idea, right? I was going to write my seconds down. So when I finish certain things, I can go back to my little clips and I know what time frame I was at, right? Just to put some encouraging stuff back out. That's all, family. But look, I'm telling y'all how God worked with me. I can't speak for nobody else. I can only tell y'all my soul story. Cause all this, all that. Got you. I was on the road of destruction. He was on the road to where? Democracy. Wait a minute. Democracy. When I read that, I was like, dang, I was on the road of destruction. Because he was on his way to do some harm. Do y'all realize that? So when you live in a crooked, defiled life, what you think you're doing? You on the road of destruction. In your own communities. So now do you understand the importance of that community organizer who used to once be like that? Now know what to do to come back and slow a lot of it down. I once lived it. That's amazing. It ain't me. God just using me. So now that's why, family, I have the utmost respect for our politicians, for our lawmakers. Listen to the words I'm using. Our politicians, our lawmakers, our policymakers. They don't create solutions. We do. Get up off your butts. Stop being afraid. We are the ones that create the solutions to the problems that's going on in our lives. They don't. They orchestrate certain things by creating laws. We are the ones that have to create solutions I was going to say situations, but we are the ones that have to create the programs, the jobs, the solutions towards helping the people to be obedient to the laws that's created. As long as you living accordingly, you okay. But our goals are the ones that's not living accordingly, don't care if they break the law or not, don't care if they go over to that big old slave plantation. But we are the ones that has to, from the ground level. So when I look at nonprofits, when I look at local businesses that create jobs, this building up the corporation. When I look at some of the churches that's doing the right things, the church actually, for some of y'all that don't understand, belongs to the community. The pastor's just the overseer. Know what position they supposed to have. Know what position people supposed to do. It's a nonprofit. And yes, a lot of them will play the system to fatten up their pockets. How many people y'all know create a platform where he can run off at his mouth, can better educate the community and help people understand the importance of us coming together? But I had to understand in this process, family, this is not something Steve Copeland can do by himself. That's why I got involved with Communities United. It was a group of us. The only reason why I started reaching out to the American Civil Liberty Union, because them turkeys came up against us when we fought to get the spy plane up over Baltimore City. They felt like we was invading people's privacy. We already have cameras in Baltimore City. Is they using the cameras to solve a lot of the issues that's going on? Because if they want to come for you, they can. They got the evidence right there on cameras. They're not using them. And a lot of them aren't working. When we had the spy plane up, we knew which ones that was working and which ones wasn't. Our goal with Archie, Simmons, all of us, was to help slow the unalive rate down for TikTok's sake, family. I got to say unalive. The pew-pew violence. That's why they created Safe Streets, to slow down the pew-pew. I got to say pew-pew, family, for TikTok's sake, with the gun violence. That's why we fought to get the plane here, to slow a lot of it down. I was telling our young men, listen to what I'm saying. I was telling our young men, so that meant I had to be in the community, right? If y'all keep doing what you doing to each other, taking each other out, nobody got a snitch on you. Listen to the word I just said. And I would tell our young men that. Nobody got a snitch on you. Because this time when you go out there and you commit that behavior, you're being filmed. So guess what? With that plane up in the sky, we can, once you commit the crime, that's the sad part about it, it has to be committed. Once you commit the crime, we can trace you back to where you came from, to that area to commit the crime, and we can trace you to wherever you went after that. The city fought against us for getting it here. Then eventually, they got it here. Baltimore City, y'all didn't have to pay no money for that plane. The Arnolds took care of it. The Arnolds offered to pay for it here for 1 year. And when we went to City Hall to talk with them about it, we down there and I'm arguing with them. You can see it on camera. I got the video myself. I come from the streets. I know how important it is to slow things down. If we can get it to stop, that's fine. But you know, life and unaliving, catch what I'm saying, is what it is. So the same way a lot of us, what I'm saying, family, has been born, it's going to be a time when God call us back home. He never said what age. He never said the time. He never said how we was going to go. But if you're here, just like with myself, he allowed me, and I'm shocked, to be 64 years old, to reach 64. That might not matter to none of y'all because y'all don't look at it like that. But when you come from those treacherous roads, and when you've done some things and things happen to you where I shouldn't be here with my front teeth out my mouth talking on my talk show. That's where his mercy coming at over my life. That's where his mercy coming in. Because I haven't gotten what I rightfully deserved for doing corrupt bullcrap. So do y'all think I'm playing when it comes to our people? Do y'all think I'm a joke when it comes to our people? As far as rebuilding their lives, I don't create messy topics where people can argue and fuss about stuff. That's us continuing coming against each other. It's not a solution. But what I'm doing, Hood, Jedi, and T-Talk, I'm taking notes. Excuse me, family. I'm taking notes. Because as I hear people, and I hear you stuck in certain areas of your life. Now, mind y'all, I deal with people like that anyway, with psychological issues. That, be honest with y'all, not being smart. They act like they got more sense than a lot of the people I hear on TikTok. I'm telling you. And I know my clients have psychological issues. But some of the people I hear on TikTok, y'all sound like y'all coming from a whole different planet. I'm like, what in the world? But it's schooling me. Because what y'all do, y'all help me better operate with the ones that I know that really needs the help. Psychologically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm a recovering addict. Listen to what I'm saying. I am a recovering addict. My journey is spiritual. It's helping people to regain a life within themselves. I am not your therapist. I am not your counselor. I haven't studied psychology to understand psychology. So all I got to do is look at me. And do the framework. So what they are teaching y'all, how to become one with self through research and all that type of stuff, I'm coming from a personal level of experience to help you move forward with your life, to help you to heal, to help you to grow, to help you to prosper, because I'm not stuck today. And I daggone sure make sure my family, if I see they stuck in certain ways, it's to start building, start encouraging, start motivating, letting them know you doing a great job. You taking care of your own responsibilities. You doing this, you doing that. And if you around people, right? Because misery love company. If you are around people and they're not putting out healthy information, ease away. Ease away. Because it can make your spirit, because you'll start gravitating. Yeah, you're right, dude. You become a chairperson. I know that. Look, I didn't know that early on. I know it. That's because I'm grown and I grew. I'm grown. Because when I look at myself, I'm like, dang, I don't do it. Because you grow. It's just a part of growing. It's a part of growing up. But when I come, I have to come somewhat. If y'all think he hard, yeah, I'm being hard. I'm being what is it called? A father. I'm being a father. I'm being big uncle. I'm being papa. I'm trying to help you better your life. I was trying to think of the word disciplinary. Y'all see how I stutter over stuff, so I had to let it sink in. Right, I'm a dang going discipline. I can't even get it out right. I'm a disciplinary. God dang it. You can live better than that. You can do this and you can do that to improve your life. Mr. Steve, why are you talking to me like that? Because I care. And I want better for you. Do you want better for yourself? Nope. Well, let me pull out my belts. You don't want better for yourself? Hold on while I get my belt. Why you don't want better for yourself? I'm scared, Mr. Copeland. I used to be scared too. These are the things that I do to help you, like people helped me, a day at a time. I had to get rid of my old ways of thinking because it kept me in trouble. I was starting to feel helpless and hopeless. So I had to get around people to help me change my mind, my old ways of thinking, my old ways of doing things, because you could not tell me I was wrong. 15 years old, speedballing. 15 years old. 13 years old, drinking Thunderbird. You know how that bothers me? To know that our children caught up. Because I was caught up. And I didn't understand. I didn't really have nobody to encourage me, to motivate me, to empower me. Mama was there now. But it seemed like the norm. Because she drank. I drank. My brothers and them did the hardcore. I became doing the hardcore. It just seemed like it was normal. But now being clean for 33 years, becoming a foster care provider, mentoring young men that's grown now, because I never had a father in my life, so I was trying to fill the gaps of being a positive male role model. But number one, in order for us to become a positive and healthy role model, did I say healthy? I hope that didn't slip over nobody's head, because if you're not healthy, how can you help them? Stephen Copeland Jr., you know I love you, bro. That's my son. I call my son my hero. I call my son my hero. I raised him totally different from the way I was raised, streetwise. My ex-wife come from the streets. So we had to raise our children totally different. I was the type of guy that ran through women. I played the game. I was a hunter. I raised my son to never disrespect women the way his father did. I couldn't brag about that, gentleman. Boy, go out there, get the thing up, do this, do that. You teaching them how to disrespect women. And most of all, you're teaching them how to disrespect themselves. Because I realized I was taking this here body. Look at it. Look at me. I was taking this handsome dude right here and selling him short. I was using my own self. And after a while, it wasn't nothing to brag about because I was feeling like trash. Because I was taking my body, laying it here, laying it there, laying it here, laying it there, to fill that emptiness and that void that I was feeling inside. So when I look back at our younger generation, right? And it starts off young. So when you got a young girl or boy that's being sexually, no, I can't even get the word over. So look at it. It'll come in a minute. Watch. It's gonna come. When you know they out there sexually for TikTok's sake, heavily acting, because I'm still waiting for the word to kick in right. Something ain't right there. They trying to fill the emptiness and get love through those kind of ways. Because guess who did it? Messing your head up, ain't it? Because a lot of y'all do it too. I'm talking about me. But I'm talking about hundreds and thousands and millions of others. I know y'all probably like, he's one goofy goddamn man. It's real. You get it? It's real. And this is what, family, this is what the 12 steps taught me. It taught me how to go inside of myself and learn to be honest with myself. That's a big thing. You got to learn to be honest with yourself. You got to learn to have faith back in yourself. You got to learn to trust back within yourself. Now, y'all hear the words. You hear the words. Truth, faith, trust. But guess what? They are spiritual. Because I begin to feel it in the inside as far as learning to be honest with myself. That's a beautiful feeling. And what I'm saying when this right here, I started realizing that I don't have to lie or try not to do nothing horrible where I have to lie about it. You get me? That's all I'm trying to say. Once I realized, you mean to tell me I can be honest? I ain't gotta lie to myself. I can lie to y'all, but I can't lie to myself. So if I'm trying to do all the right things right not to lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. Because it starts with me. Truth, faith, and trust. And me. Respect, love, integrity, honesty, courage, motivation in me. Did y'all see how I raised a little bit when I said that? It's like a feeling inside. And it's more like your character, your personality of who you are as a human being. I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate individual. The 12 steps, the spiritual journey taught me how to love me. Because I know who I am inside. Warm, sensitive, jolly, compassionate. Sound a little funny, don't it? But it's just a feeling I feel inside. And guess what? I'm still a man no matter what. You can't touch that. Then you can't touch that. Then because I know who I am. You can't touch that. Then you call me anything you want, but that's not true. Then because I know who I am. Then I had to learn about me. Then y'all know I gotta throw something goofy in there, right? But look, I'm serious. I ain't lying. Look. That's what the 12 steps spiritual program when y'all hear me say that. Help me to get to know and love me. And the problem with me, family, I have a tendency of trying to give that love back to people that don't always deserve what you have to offer. Y'all ever heard the word codependency? No more? By Melanie Beatty. I read her book over 30 years ago. That's an addicted personality too. When you want to give everybody that love and compassion, that warmth that you have inside. But I had to realize everybody don't deserve it, family. And guess what? When I find myself caught up in it, I have to back up. The same way that I had to admit my powerlessness with the smugs and all that, with the addiction stuff, the addictive stuff, loving too much for me is an addiction within itself. I love hard and deeply. And the goal is just to give it back to others. I'm a Pisces, so I understand why I am like that. I thought something was personally wrong with me, but no, that's part of the sign. I'm a real emotional man, but I'm proud of myself because I can be honest with myself. And that's the best part. I can be honest. It ain't about you. My platforms are very, very educational, motivational, inspirational. It's about helping you to grow deep inside of yourself. A lot of people don't want to grow. They don't want to do the work because I understand you're scared. That's why y'all will hear me talk about post-traumatic slave syndrome. It's the reason why we feel stuck. That's why y'all will hear me talk about Muffa 21 Black genocide. That's why y'all will hear me talk about the school to prison pipeline. These are systems designed to keep mostly your marginalized communities down. Hopeless, helpless. This is the stuff I've been reading, family, because I'm looking at what's happening to us. And I'm trying to find out where is it coming from. That's what an investigator does. In order to help people heal and prosper mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, You have to teach them how to break that cycle, that mental slavery, that mental bondage, of helping them understand you are worthy, you are special, you are marvelous, you are adventurous. And if you don't believe it in yourself, I'm going to keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it till you feel it in your spirit. Okay? I'm going to keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it until you believe it in your spirit, in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. Pushing that old slave man mentality out of him. Okay? You ain't got to like me personally. Just listen to the message. Don't pay a lot of attention to the messenger. Because there might be some things about me, you looking at me, that you might not like. And I understand it. Well, he got a big mouth. He talk too much. He bald head under that scarf. He over there looking like a Muslim, but he a Christian man. But he looking like a Muslim. Will he mixed in between Islamic and American? I'm following Christ? No, he not. I like this because it makes me look real handsome. I'm the one put on the vest over here. and then look, this is kind of purplish, bluish, but it fits this. I said, because I'm coming on to my live, right? I'm coming on my live. Now, one, I gotta look handsome as I can. I'm trying my best not to have a great sense of humor. I'm trying to be miserable like most of y'all. But I'm trying to help you recognize the miserable state and understand that you can laugh at this big mouth, bald head black dude. Have a sense of humor. You get it? My thing is, life is too short, family. Life is too short for us to be miserable. And I'm telling y'all know it takes a lot of work to be where I'm at. It takes a lot of work to set your mind at peace, free, where you can sit back and knowing everything around you is falling apart, right? But you can sit back and laugh and kid and joke about it. You want to go out there and try to help everybody, try to save the world, right? Right? When deep inside your spirit, you know you can. So whenever y'all see me on from 6 to 8, if I stay on that long, because when I feel like the spirit saying shut it down, I'm going to shut it down. It takes a lot, family. Sienna Copeland, baby, I love you. Tashir Anderson, you know I love you. Kaya Austin, you know I love you, right? Sheena Copeland, you know I love y'all. Cherie Copeland. Rhonda Copeland. I should have said Rhonda first because that's my oldest niece. Cherie Copeland. Ebony. Derek. Daryl. Peanut. Those are my sister children and my children. Amir. That's my brother daughter. She works in the airport and she's a photographer. Doing well. Doing well, family. Talking about the Copeland family. I'm very, 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 very proud of Baltimore City. For 19 years of my life, I drank, I did drugs. Smugs for TikTok. Smugs, TikTok. Okay? My family didn't get caught up. I'm talking about the ones that came after us in that lifestyle like that, right? So one day it hit me, that generational curse is broken. I watched my mother function. My grandfather passed when I was about 10. When I look at his brothers, my family, the Copeland family, strong, powerful men and women, even though they might have drank. They worked, the older ones going back on the railroad tracks and stuff like that, right? I don't, I knew you was getting ready to do this for me to clear this out. So I started doing my ancestry, right? Just so my children, if it get to that point that they might want to research their family history, it'll be already in there for them to go tracking things back. Setting the tone. So if they want to go, like I did with my cousin and us, to places like ancestry.com and just start tracking, it's already in there because we started it. So it'll pull back up everything for them to move further with it. The guy that created Popeyes, loved that chicken from Popeyes. He was a Copeland. Then you got Kenneth Copeland. You got a lot of Copelands out there that's doing some wonderful and great things. From what I read up, the Copeland name is Norris. Like what is that? Somewhat Scottish. Something like that, right? So I'm looking at, no matter what, the Copeland family came from the white man, mixing with, the black woman. Okay? So when we talk about mixed race, even though my mom is black and my father, from what I know, is probably black because I haven't met him, but he's black. Okay, from South Carolina. But my great, the second great grandfather was white. So that makes me part biracial, right? Huh? We talking about our family lineage? Huh? So when you and you and you and you want to talk about black and white, or you might be in this place where you hate white people, make sure you're not kin folks, because you're a hypocrite. Okay? And then when you go on to say stuff like this, when a black person or BLK, for TikTok's sake, messes with a YT, they're breaking the block. cycle. Make sure none of your people in your family is mixed with white, because the lineage is going to go on anyway. Look what happened. My great grandmother had 4 kids. I don't know if all of them was by the white man or not. I'm not sure. I've been trying to look it up and say. But I know Eli Copeland, father, was white. My grandfather, Charles White Copeland, his mother put it in there to let us know that his grandfather, or we're part of the white generation as well. Charles White Copeland. I didn't understand why the white was there. It's his middle name. Just to help the family know. That's why when y'all do your research, understand nicknames was put there for a reason too. Because they couldn't come right out and say what's what. So Eli Copeland is Charles White's father. The W is there. I ain't mad. Watch why I'm saying that. Whether she was forced or not, I don't know. But Eli Copeland here, right? He's gone there. But Eli Copeland was born. Charles White Copeland was born. Barbara Jean Copeland was born. Steve Lavelle Copeland is right here in your face. Why in the world would I disgrace myself and put it down? Because I understand a little bit more from where I came. And I thank God a day at a time. She could have got rid of it. Got it? That's why when y'all hear me talk about Marfa 21, Black genocide, and they're talking about the programs that was created for ABs. But now a lot of this started way, during slavery time, when women would take certain things to unalive or to abort or to AB TikTok, AB. See, I'm just reading up on this. So when it comes to talking and educating us, I can share it back. I can talk about Dr. Dewey, the guy that wrote The Slavery Mind. I'm already seeing it. What's happening to us? So the goal with everything that I'm saying, family, is helping people to break that slave man mentality. And it starts young. BMore's Real Team Talk Show. Parents, if you don't know your history, study your history so you can better educate your children. Anything I find teachable, from TikTok, following history, information that they put out, I will become a follower. Some of the information, I will send it over to my Facebook pages. Y'all say they're not teaching Black history in school no more, right? Parents, Why you're not educating your own children about their history? Just because they took it out of school don't mean you cannot educate your own. Do you realize during my ancestry, going back in history, sharing certain things with my son, my daughters, I was just reading something somebody put on TikTok. Sharing this information that occurred back in the past, putting it out there. Do you realize when you soak in some of this information that makes you feel a little bit important? And the reason why I'm saying it makes you feel a little bit important, right? Because you're learning about yourself, the history of you, your black people. Y'all know I did not know this. Native Americans. Native American was another name for black people. I thought Native American, right, when I read it in that book, in that book, Martha 21 Black Genocide, I'm thinking Indians. I said, oh my God. But Native American was another word they used to describe the melanated culture. They got them down to 10% during that time. The population. I'm thinking they talking about Indians. Then I was saying, well, they got them down to 10%. They started migrating to other races to carry on their legacy. Did y'all know that? I'm talking about us starting to migrate into other cultures, keeping the black legacy going. That thing started clicking in. I was like, for real. So now when we see our people, right, in today's time, like black men, y'all want to blame it all on these athletes and stuff like that. Every black man is not an athlete that finds white women attractive or women outside their cultures. And then say, like, if she's Indian and he's African American, he's a black man, and she gets pregnant, that legacy gonna go on. But it's mixed. But it still is one individual. Then we look at the genetics. My son's girlfriend is white. I asked them a while back, I said, when y'all gonna make me a grandfather? Not right now. They focusing more on their careers. Got you. And having their life in order before they bring children in. This is what my 23-year-old son and I talk about. This is what my 25-year-old daughter and I talk about. She's a paralegal. She got her own place, own car, own insurance, own bills. I told my daughter, because she pays $1,600. I said, you know you can get a house with that. Rather than renting. She said, yeah, Dad, but some of them want more than this. I said, I know, and some of them want less. But it all depends on where you at. Because the area she in, to be honest with y'all, Them houses probably go for about 300 to 400,000. Cause she's down Canton. In the area where them big fuel tanks used to be, oil tanks, they tore it all down and they built new facilities down there. She down there with the bougie people, like her dad. That's why I mess with our politicians, our lawmakers, because they no different than us. It's just their position. I run an LLC. I run a housing program. Brandon Scott know what Unc do. A lot of the council members that's in our city know what Unc do as far as fighting for the rights of the people. I had to get to meet our politicians and stuff like that. Hey, Valerie, I'm only sharing this so it can encourage and motivate others. Don't get it wrong. No matter what arena I go in, I fit. I don't care how much money you got. Hello, how are you? How's the family? Bougie. I wouldn't even know a daggone word. Man, I fit right in. Try to talk over my head. And I'm going to tell you this. You got to explain that a little bit better to me. You got to bring it down. You can talk that bougie, educated stuff all you want. I'm going to tell you. Break it down. Make it simple. Because I understand when you live in a certain life, like you're a well-rounded, educated person. Now, my daughter works in a law firm. So y'all know we're dealing with lawyers, politicians, lawyers. And then I'm looking at prosecutors. That's who I meant. But dealing with somebody that's into the laws, they normally speak the language that a lot of us might not really understand. Growing up in NA, we speak our own language that we know a lot of outsiders might not understand. Basically, growing up in the church. Started out in the Baptist church, 5 years. I was preached to. Let me back it up again. Growing up in the Baptist church, 5 years, I was preached to. For 3 years, I was lost without a church home. A day at a time, I've been at the Church of Redeemed for a little over 25 years. My pastor don't preach, he teach. And I begin to understand the difference between preaching and teaching. Now that I understand the mission and the journey of Jesus Christ, when he came upon this earth, I'm going to give you some Bible. Bible said, the word became flesh and dwelt among his people. It's in the book of John. In the beginning was the word. In Genesis, in the beginning was the word. The word was God. And the word was with God in the beginning. Then it goes on down to say, the word became flesh and dwelt amongst his people. I'm giving you Bible. But his people did not recognize him. Now I'm giving you Bible. Did he not? John talked about the word before he came here. Well, he started advocating for him. Jesus came to the fishermen because he knew they was real good at fishing. Come, follow me, Mr. Copeland, and I'm going to make you fishers of men. Remember, I said it not too long ago. Men, women, and children. The goal is to go back out into the community like Christ did, like the disciples did. The same way we had smug addiction, addicts, alcoholics, people selling their bodies. Y'all call them 304s, right? 304s just didn't come around now. They've been out there. Men too. Y'all don't like that, do you? Because you selling yourself cheap just like I did. I wasn't no different than that 304 on the corner. Okay? So now, since I've been delivered, since I've been redeemed, since I repented, since I'm in recovery, listen to the words, they the same. Meaning, basically, I've been reformed. I've been renewed. I don't do it anymore. Right? Then I'm walking in the light. I'm walking in the footsteps of Jesus Christ and the disciples. They went on in the ministry. They called on the disciples. The Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope. We work with the homeless and the less fortunate population. Didn't Jesus work with the homeless and the less fortunate people? As a recovering addict, I use my spiritual experience to help people regain a life. Didn't Jesus encourage them and motivated them and empowered them? You want to talk scripture? I'm going to talk it to you. But I'm going to show you the actions that come along with talking script. You're good at talking script, but you're not good at producing solutions. We get food, we get clothing, we get furniture, donations to give back to the community. What was Christ doing? So when I say I'm a lover, when I say I'm a follower, when I say that I'm a Christian, I'm not talking about no type of religion. I'm talking about emulating Christ's humility. Having the same love and compassion as him for his people, for the people, for your lost generation of people. Now, please tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me. The same way God told Moses. What was Pharaoh? A ruler, a dictator, a powerful man with his politics. They are one. Same way. When y'all hear me say certain things about organized religion, listen to the word I just used. Organized religion and politics tends to enslave and oppress the people. I didn't just say black people. And mind you, I did not see all of this. That's why when y'all hear me say stuff like, I was once blind, but now my eyes are open. I was once lost in darkness, but now I'm found. I'm talking about into the light of understanding the difference between right and wrong. Understanding that, look, there is an evil side of me that if I'm not careful, I will let run and dictate everything. It's still me. But there's a loving, caring, considerate side of me that now wants to correct the wrongs that he done. And not only that, now that I'm able or have worked on those areas of my life, I can give it back step by step and how you can come out of it. I ain't just talking, I'm living. BMore's Real Teen Talk Show. I'm a father. I'm an educator to my own. I'm a prime example today of how a productive man should live his life and act and behave. Sometimes I want to, y'all know, do some childish and baby stuff because I like playing. But when it comes to keeping it real, you got to know how to separate. You got to know how to thy own self be true. I can lie to y'all. I can't lie to me. When I say my conscience will eat me up, I'm talking about the spirit, man. Boy, you know you wrong. You shouldn't have done it. You owe such and such apology. And in order for me to have peace in my life, I got to correct it. Hey, look, I apologize for the way I acted the other day. Or I apologize for how I responded to such and such and such and such. See, I got to correct my wrong. And once I correct my end, that peace come back. I'm only teaching y'all how God worked with me. I'm talking about those that want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. I don't know where you might be. You might be in England. All right, James, because your butt get ready to pop up, I'm getting ready to drop on you. He in England. He normally pops up from YouTube. And it's another young guy that'll come on that'll come on my YouTube. He young too. He young. I just try to make him feel welcome. That's all. So, parents, and I realize this, seriously, parents, we are the solutions to whatever our children are dealing with. Our purpose to protect, now I'm getting ready to say to protect and serve, right? Our purpose is to protect them and make sure they're safe mentally. And this is what I learned with because I'm looking at me, right, with my own children. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Physically, you know, long as they doing what they supposed to do in that sense, that's fine and healthy. But I'm looking at the mind. You get it? I'm looking at the mindset. And I ain't trying to be smart, but when I come on with these two talk shows, this thing should be flooded. I shouldn't have had to talk by myself most of the time. I'm telling you, because when you are a parent and you are doing all the right necessary things to make sure your children lives are balanced out, share that with somebody else. Some people is stuck. I don't know what to do no more. And if you've been there from them telling their story, share with them step by step. Because we can talk, but you want to share the process. Well, this is what I done. I put them in this. I did that. How you switched it. This stuff, look, the couch talk. Real conversation. Real life stories. Real life experiences. Real life challenges. Overcoming. And this thing should be loaded. On TikTok, I can put up 8. Now, I can bring 2 people up I can bring more than that, but 2 people up on StreamYard. And be honest with y'all, I want educators. Come on. When I say educators, I'm talking about the professionals who can actually help people from listening restructure whatever that's going on in their lives. Even if you have to bring them on as personal clients. If HIPAA laws don't prevent you from doing that, share what you can. That's where you get clients from. You come on in and you start talking about this is my program in East Baltimore, healing the youth, right? And share with them basically what you're doing, and you mainly focus on them from 13 to 19 or stuff like that, or you might deal with them like somebody sent me something where they deal with the kids from 9 to about 10. 5 to about 10. And then I know people that deal with them from 18 on up or 19 on up to 24. Because the goal is helping them restructure their life or help move in a more healthy, prosperous way. I want them between 13 and 19 because I like belts. I'm telling y'all, I'll threaten them. Look, don't make me get my level belt. Keep showing up. Told you, pop. Big on. That's how I do my business. I don't know about the professionals. Come here. Don't you ever talk to me like that again. Don't you ever let me see you disrespect another grown up. Okay? What? You got to put fear in them. You do. And Popo come mess with me. Because I tell you, like I said before, they didn't pass the law where parents can't beat their children, right? But did they pass a law that y'all can't take them out? Contradictory. I can't discipline mine, but you can take them down, and they will justify your behavior. That's what I was telling the police, basically. I'd rather discipline mine than to watch you take them down. And he turned around and walked away. Come on. Sometimes as parents, if your children think they could lie, manipulate, and play you, that's what they're going to do. You have to stand firm as a parent. And it's not all about beating them, with the belt thing. I just love joking about that because I got whoopings with belts. But I love joking about the belt. Well, God darn it. Well, mine's grown now. Don't piss me. And even if they ain't my children, I'm going to present myself to them like they mine. Sometimes I have to catch myself. Steve, they not your children. You're not their dad. So then I had to move in my professional realm. But for the most part, because I want the best for them. Anybody you dealing with, watch this. This is how I do it. Professionals. Number one, if a child is in my possession and you are disrespectful, Pop gonna show up. Big Unc gonna show up. The OG gonna show up. Because you have to know how. I'm 6'1", and I want to use this as an example. I'm 6'1", I'm 190 pounds now. But I'm tall, and I stand strong and powerful. And sometimes that's how you have to come for the troubled youth, because they already feel strong, powerful, and mighty, even if it's in an unhealthy way. So you have to find a way to outpower that and discipline them to bring it down. Bring it down. I don't care how old you is. I don't. But if you start disrespecting me, I'm going to try to get your attention. Hey, ho! Bring it down. Bring it down. Because I can take that route too. But the goal is I don't want to. However you feeling inside, wherever you at, bring it down. You rear up, I'm going to rear up. Because my goal is to outpower you. Not for you to dictate out and control me. No, that's not how I do business. So if you in my program, for me to help you, and I see you starting to, go into that, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that mode, I got to chump you down. And that might not be a proper word, but yes, because now I have to gain control back over that. And if it get to that point that it might seem, too dangerous, then I got to get rid of you. I don't want to get rid of you. I will put you somewhere. Listen to what I'm saying. If I feel like I cannot work with you and you don't want to listen, I know people that have more. Watch this. Because 9 times out of 10, when you got a program and you got a full staff, even security will chump you down. So the goal is not to toss you out. I'll put you in somebody else's program that better know how to deal with you and your attitude. That's how I work. Because you're not going to come in my business and try to control it or run it when you ask me for help. Because I know that person going to show up. I can only give them about a month or two. And then that other side going to show up. And that's the person I have to deal with, the same individual. But I got to bring you back down to earth. So as a father, as a person that was taught how to be a foster care provider, as a retired OG from the streets now, I have to come and meet you where you at. Okay? But when I come and meet you where you at, you might get OG. You might get Pop. You might get big. When I say Pop, I'm talking about Papa. You might get Big Unc, because I'm talking about a man that cares and want the best for you. So now I got to rough it up. Who you think you talking to like that? I can't look like that because you'll take you for a joke. See, I'm just letting y'all know how sometimes I got to ball up. Don't you ever talk to me like that again. Okay? Sam. I don't talk to him like that. I do come out, but I'm just showing y'all, I'm just acting right then. I'm trying to get a part in a movie or something, right? No, but seriously, I don't play. They'll tell you, Big Unc do not play. He do not miss the stain. No, man. When Mr. D want the best for you, he don't play. Because the goal is to see you move forward in a healthier way, to change that roughneck thinking. That's what they did with me. It's still there, but it's like I like this side more. I like that loving, kind, considerate, passionate side. But I know how to go there too. I know how to figure you out. Number one, like I said, who you think you talking to? You 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, 19. 9 times out of 10, if you disrespect the elders, you been hurt. I'll make it 10 out of 10. You been hurt as a child. I already know it. I might can't throw it straight out like that. I already know it. And if you tell me that your mother and your father raised you and you disrespecting elders, I know where it came from. I know where it started from. Say like if me and one of my daughters talking and they say, yeah, Dad, this old lady came up to me, blah, 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 this and that. Now I know they're going to say certain things because they're going to jump on the defense. But the goal is try your best not to disrespect them. You can always say something in a respectful manner. But most of all, this is how we taught them about respecting their elders and their teachers. As a human being, y'all know, they're going to go against what you tell them. Mainly when they out with their peers. And that's when mama and daddy got to step in and lay down the rules again. I had to do it. Mine's are grown now, though. I'm very, very proud of them. Very proud of the life they living. And if you can't see it on my face, he's a very proud dad. Something wrong with you. You can't see it? I can sit back, look at my children, and look at my grandchildren, and the life that's being provided for them. It lets me see you and your wives did a great job in raising them. I love y'all, family. And this is for educational purposes only. Anytime I come on, I do research on certain things to make sure. A lot of times I'm just not talking. Right? That picture that they showed of the black lady being on the train with, I'm gonna say, the white supremacists. They gave the name for the group, but I don't know. I thought it wasn't real, but I looked it up to see was it real before I opened up my mouth, and it was real. But what I was looking at, she didn't look like she was worried or look like she was afraid in that picture. She just minded her business. She could have been afraid, I don't know. But if they had, I don't know if they're going to do an interview if they could find her to see how she felt being around them like that. I don't care how people feel. If you don't like melanated people, that's a problem for you. Okay? 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10, When you find yourself so busy and disliking other people's ethnic or culture, shows me you have some major issues because you're focusing more on outside of yourself rather than focusing on how we can do better. And they are some major psychological issues. Nowhere in this world, maybe in Mars, Jupiter, you can actually separate us. Not just us. And I'm not talking about just a black and white thing. We have other nationalities and cultures here on this earth. If you can't get along, that's your problem. No matter what. You can march on certain things, you can hide your face, and that really goes to show just where you at. I don't want people to know where you recognize me. Uh-huh. You hiding from yourself. Anybody that needs somebody with the working knowledge of the 12 steps, 12 traditions, 12 concepts. Do y'all know the spiritual program is just help you to walk in a more right way of living spiritually. The traditions are basically the laws for us to live accordingly as well. The 12 concept is basically the structure of NA, the building part. That's what my program is designed around. Helping you restructure your life. Spiritually, traditionally, and economically. The structure of growing financially, mentally, emotionally, independently. It don't cost a dime. Now, go to therapists. Spend 5, 10 years, and you still stuck. And you still stuck. The goal with us is to help you break it. But you the one that has to be honest, even if you go to therapy, if you go to a counselor, if you go to anybody in that way to help put your life back in order, they are going to work, help you find ways and means to be okay with whatever your issue is. My approach is more spiritually than clinically. I'm not a clinical program. Spiritual healing, motivating, empowering. It's you. It's you that have to do the work to change. All right, family. I love y'all. And I'm gonna get ready to end this. Hey, Dr. K. Monday, men's mental health. Monday, men's mental health. This is Steve Copeland family from BMore's Real Teen Talk Show. Empowering the next generation. Our future leaders. Parents, when you hear me make the statement out my mouth, giving our youth a voice to be able to talk about where they at, what's going on with them, and how they feeling, is your responsibilities, parents, to get them the proper help that they need to move forward in life. I wanted to say, right, to fix them. But sometimes we have to reach out for outside sources. All right, family. I love y'all. And I'm out. Tomorrow, God's will, Men's Mental Health Monday. Take care, family. And I'm